Yo, what is good? And welcome back to another quick crypto coin factory live stream. Hopefully you're having a great day so far, although I'm sure the markets are as usual, not filling you with confidence as Bitcoin is now retraced back to $108,600, ETH down to 3.9k, and of course Kaspa is once again retesting that very battle tested level of support around the 0.05455 zone. As you can see from the box I've drawn out, this is the current area that we should be keeping a close eye on for Kaspa. We have seen time and time again that Kaspa has managed to hold this level here between 5.5 cents to 5 cents right here. And until evidence showcases otherwise, I still believe it is entirely possible. We have got some sources for Kaspa in the stream, some very big sources. Equally, Son Polinsky given an update to his Terra AI bot in regards to information he's going to be distributing on Twitter regarding VProgs, which we'll get to that in a moment, and ultimately do a bit of a deeper dive into why VProgs is an end game for Kaspa. Again, Kaspa making history and bringing itself one step closer to becoming the infrastructure layer for the entire blockchain world. And that'll be coming out next year, at least hopefully. Get to that, get some other important fundamental news, probably the reason why the market's done today, and equally some other big stuff coming through. So as always, family, if you enjoy the daily live stream, the content, leave a like, share with your friends, subscribe for more. Also, to make the announcement now, I'll make it in my Discord server. There's a 50-50 chance I go live tomorrow. I have suddenly got a very pressing work matter to attend to, and that might take all day. We'll have to wait and see, but I'll make sure to keep you all informed, and if I can go live tomorrow, I most definitely will. With that being said, family, welcome back to the stream once more. We got Dimitar in first, as always. Welcome back, bro. You're doing very well. Zied, welcome back, brother. You're doing very well. Another day in crypto, 100%. It's like a forever spiraling pit of doom right now, in all honesty, but you know what they say, buy the dip. And well, the Rothschild family says when the blood is in the water, that's the time to buy. So right now, I see this as another opportunity to scoop up some discounted cryptos right now. And we got here once more. Yeah, conviction always wins 100%. You buy 33,000 more Kaspa. Love that, brother. My fist is melting right now. I am sure indeed. We got Follow. Welcome, bro. You're doing very well. Buffalo 3, welcome back, my man. Yo 22. Good evening to Brett as well, and LB on the check-in as always. Welcome back, and definitely yes, hit that like if you enjoy the daily content. So now that we got through the pleasantries right now, of course I'll be saying hello as people keep tuning in a little bit later on. Dominic says I'm secretly hoping Kaspa drops down to 0.01 again. Unless we see a flash crash like we just saw on Friday, it is very unlikely we see Kaspa go down to that level again. Of course, not financial advice, my only personal opinion. But this flash crash was not a result of Kaspa holders. It was a result of exchanges manipulating the price of Kaspa, sending it down in a flash crash scenario. I would see that feasibly impossible for happening again. But again, I mean, I said that before, anything is possible. I think for the most part, Kaspa is more than likely going to be holding this zone around here. It does depend on Bitcoin right now. We can see Bitcoin is attempting to drop back down to that level we saw down here, which if Bitcoin does manage to correct down to here and hold that, that could be potentially setting up for a double bottom and then the push back up as well. We'll have to wait and see. Of course, it's too hard to say right now. Volatility is all over the place, and we can see gold is continuing to rally more and more as sentiment for risk on assets is lessening more and more. People are going towards risk off. That's why gold is continuing to make astronomical gains day after day. 2% in gold is very big. It's a 50 whatever trillion dollar market. It's a huge market. And you're seeing 2% in that, that's a very big multiplier. I'm sure Bitcoin and the rest will follow in suit. Typically, Bitcoin follows a month after gold rallies, but we'll have to wait and see right now. Of course, again, the risk off sentiment is growing more with risk on falling down a little bit. Do you see this coin is terrible? What is going to take to change your minds? I mean, we actually had a discussion about that in the Discord server earlier. We have a discussion between, well, a lot of us trying to just making our own points regarding Kaspa. Of course, the argument of why Kaspa is terrible has always come down to the price, to which, I mean, as I stated to the person who was being the devil's advocate for Kaspa, which is perfectly fine, as you should be, if anything. Being a default advocate for Kaspa, his reasoning for that, again, about the price, but he accepts that Kaspa is innovative technology and it should do really, really well. And my response to the matter in that regard was this post that I've made in the past already, regarding how institutional sentiment is telling us that price volatility and regulatory implications dominate the public discourse, but these are only surface distractions. So while Kaspa's price is terrible, and frankly all of crypto's price is terrible, all altcoins are terrible, Kaspa's just had a longer pullback in that regard. In the word of institutional sentiment, those who run these markets, price is just a distraction. What really matters is what's being built. And the source we're going to get through today is going to showcase what Kaspa's being built is truly game changing, and that for me is enough for me to still believe in this project. The price is temporary. What matters is what's being built, and what being built is beyond innovative, something that is going to take this market by storm. We'll get to those posts in a literal minute though. Welcome back, Sweet Leaf. What's your thoughts on TAO? I feel Kaspa and TAO are endgame cryptos. I believe so as well. I believe TAO is a very, very strong asset. It has done incredible. It's one of the few assets which has been able to make a significant rally off the back of that crypto crash we saw. TAO came down roughly 30% off that crypto crash and then managed to make a gain about 65%. It's now only currently up 35% from that. Has been a bit of a pullback the last few days as expected. I actually spoke about it in one of my streams, the reasons for why TAO pumped effectively, and also some endgame reasons for TAO as well, to which I do plan to make a video probably later this week to further delve into exactly why I believe TAO has a very, very good chance of exploding in adoption and price, based on documentation that I've published to my VIPs, alpha documentation, which is from the World Economic Forum. So I'll showcase that. I'll make a video on that later on, don't worry about that. And I also will try and get into a little bit about the subnets as I've requested to do so I'll try to do that as well. But I think TAO's a great project. I do really think so. AI is going to be a very big thing. I'm DCAing, of course, but got dry powder this time. That's great stuff. You need to have dry powder at these times, especially if the exchanges don't let you put money in because, well, they don't want you to scoop more of the dips. So definitely have dry powder as you can do. Yeah, TAO, I think, is a great project as well. But yes, as always, do your own research, trade at your own discretion. We moon yet, not yet Wing Hong, of course, but hopefully in the coming months, we'll start seeing a lot more volatility. TAO's up 25% in 2 days, looks healthier than this. I mean, everything has its own pump. You know, Zebek was doing very, very well yesterday off the back of the Kraken announcement, and now look at it, it's back down to 0.0039, although it is touching that level of support. So if Zebek continues to respect this wedge pattern, which it has been doing so continuously beside the crash event, then it should start seeing trading between the zone continuously until we get more towards the decisive cross. But I mean, yeah, I mean, TAO again is still fundamentally a different project to Kaspa. It's in regards to AI. You know, you're building AI infrastructure on TAO, machine learning tools. So it's still a different project. I mean, Octa's doing well today. You know, everything's had their own time to pump. Kaspa just had a much rougher time in that regard, but everything's had their own rough time. So in respect of project and fundamentals, Kaspa's the strongest. In respect to price, no, it's not doing great. But again, price is just a distraction. And that's not me saying this. Literally quoted from the document here. Surface distractions. Price volatility and regulatory implications dominate the public discourse, but these are only surface distractions in what is becoming the foundational layer for the next generation of financial market infrastructure and innovative technology. That's what the smart money is saying. It's what Signet Bank is saying to the institutional. This document here, they don't give to you. I had to get access to it. I managed to gain access to it, and I'm showcasing this on stream. One of the hundreds of documents I showcased to my VIPs as well. This is what they're telling their institutional clients, that price is a distraction. Look at what is actually being developed. So, I mean, again, you can take that however you want to take it. I'm thinking of stacking TAO now too. I have been holding TAO for quite some time, and I think it is quite a good asset. I have been following Kaspa's price action for quite a long time, funnily enough, apart from more recently. But I think TAO again will have its own run when the time is right as well. TAO is looking very, very good. Project convincing's long gone. This project bears all the hallmarks of a project gone one way down. Again, we'll have to wait and see. It's purely down to price again. Again, nobody has a definitive answer. Actually, in that regard, we got posts like this here from Wolfie and some others. For all the extra Bitcoin liquidity venues, MicroStrategy, BlackRock, Fidelity, ARK Invest, Sailor, Binance, Coinbase, Cumberland, and CME, and the mainstream media they hire for promotion, Kaspa is nearly recovered as Bitcoin, who is 5 times older, 600 times slower, and 1,000 times more expensive. So in respect of, Bitcoin and what's been happening to Bitcoin, when you look at it on the logarithmic graph, Kaspa has done very, very similar. Because Kaspa is a much smaller asset, the volatility is a lot higher. And that, of course, incites and invites more emotional sentiment, right? It's always the risk with smaller assets. They move a lot more. Bitcoin's down 2%, Kaspa's down 4.9%. But the logarithmic version looks the exact same. And in accordance to TA elements from other people, again, TA, this is the reason I do TA, of course, on this channel at a very, very limited sense, because technical analysis is so, it's so, what's the word I'm looking for? It is not 100%, right? Nothing's 100%, but you can look at fundamentals in the crypto space and the project, and that'll give you a better indication of where the price is going to go. Technical analysis can only get you so far. It's good, it's successful, people use it, but it can only get you so far. Some people are saying, in regard to their technical analysis, the Kaspa is going to lose and slowly bleed down to 0 from here. But you've got other TA, which is highlighting, which is what I've highlighted, which is, the current structure on Kaspa's daily chart is starting to resemble a classic Wyckoff accumulation phase, or Wyckoff accumulation phase. Price has been ranging tightly, building a clear support zone, and if the level acts as a spring, it could mark the final shakeup before a major move upwards. You can see this; it's a typical market structure right here. It's very possible. We've just seen that hit. We saw it come down here. You might see it therefore. You saw it hit here, it's come up, come back down, and it's done this little wick down here, come up, whip it down there again. You might see it do that and then blow off. It's a complete possibility. It's a complete possibility right now. The phase is often when strong hands absorb weak supply, preparing for a potential market markup cycle. Patience is key. Market doesn't reward impatience, but it rewards conviction. And again, it's very, very difficult to really discuss price. Very difficult to discuss price in anything, because when you're discussing price, it's one opinion versus another. That's why I don't do it on this channel very much. I'll talk about TA, talk about potential price movements and whatnot, but I never talk about price predictions because it's always one opinion versus another. Some people say Kaspa's going to 0 right now because the price is doing terrible. I look at what's being built. I look at what institutional sentiment suggests about what's really important, which they say price is not important, at least in this time and phase right now. And I'm using that to determine that Kaspa perfectly fine. The fact that, again, I mean, this is somewhat of a nothing burger, this actually, in honesty, but it's still quite reassuring news. We'll get to the actual big news in a moment. Vijay, ex-Bitcoin maximalist, now more so a Kaspa max if you ask me, but he's just someone who actually values the ethos of what Bitcoin was meant to be, which Kaspa follows. He made a post talking to Elon, talking about, we know that you love Bitcoin, but you hesitate about Bitcoin for whatever reason because it's slow, understandably. Elon Musk made a post not too recently, actually. He made a post talking about Bitcoin, is the best because it's energy and you can't fake energy. Bitcoin is based on energy. You can issue fake fiat currencies, and every government in history has done so. You can print money out of thin air, but it's impossible to fake energy, hence why he is endorsing Bitcoin. And this is basically building on top of that right now. Vijay made a post which actually got more retweets than Michael Saylor, which is, I guess that's something, and almost as many impressions as well. Of course, he's just basically saying that you like Bitcoin, well, look at Kaspa being the exact same as Bitcoin, but actually scalable, which I think in and of itself is quite a big deal. But what we're seeing right now again with Kaspa is at a very fundamentally early level, but it's going through such a transformative stage right now. And what is about to be built with Vrogs is going to shake up this place, this whole market. Tom Polinsky recently made a post talking to the AI bot he created, Terra. In summary from Kaspa Commons here, Chad, hashtag positioning is to design a decentralized application sovereignty at layer 1. Do you actually realize what this means for crypto land and the real world? Because I can have an idea of what it means, and it is very, very big. So what Tom Polinsky is basically doing here in this post is she is Tom Polinsky trying to prompt his AI bot to readjust itself and how it's replying to certain people in respects of the DAGs is a technical input, right? So Polinsky is basically telling Terra here, telling her to avoid highlighting certain technical features like DAGs, applying ZK tech to Solana's architecture, etc., etc. What somebody's trying to tell Terra here to do is to describe Kaspa in its VProx it's trying to develop, and in doing so, and giving more clarity about that, and also being more in tune to what the core are actually trying to do, give a timeline for when it hopefully would be complete as well. VProx is an endgame for Kaspa, and I can explain precisely why. So the ultimate goal of this message from Polinsky to Terra is to position Kaspa as the only layer 1 designed for decentralized application sovereignty, which in doing so would attract high profile teams and high profile DeFi projects. If you are layer 1 that is truly sovereign, you're going to end up, you're a lot safer to be on, accumulating a lot more wealth. The way they put it this way, right, is there are a lot of projects out there already. Take it Unichain, take it Base, where those layer 2s are so much more popular than the layer 1s they trade on top of, being Ethereum. Base and Unichain are bigger than Ethereum in regards to the volume they bring in. So it reduces the sovereignty and actually fragments the layer 1 more so, because people go through Base as opposed to go through Ethereum. By creating VProx, creating true sovereignty, it could end up making Kaspa sufficiently more trustworthy, to put it one way. So to try and build on this, and I'll probably make a video on this later today to actually have a better structured script on how I'm going to present this, if you will. Decentralized applications, or dApp sovereignty, it gives builders a higher value for autonomy, predictability, and control they need. It gives the builders more control on how they want to build on the layer 1. If you're building on Ethereum right now, you're competing with Base. But Ethereum has not got as much sovereignty on it, so it makes it very, very hard. You kind of have to mimic what Base is doing to an extent. Where if Kaspa's doing this, then you have more control you need. Everything's going through the layer 1, and it creates a much more unified infrastructure and protocol as well, which is very, very important, of course. And you can see Tara replies here saying regarding that message pivoted, decentralized dApp sovereignty is the main line and not the architectural scaffolding. I'll start tracking dev interest on X/Telegram for timeline clarity. So Terra's going to be, again, just looking through the right communities to see what the devs are saying, and then provide us basically a bit more clarity regarding the timeline for when VProx hopefully will be introduced. Right now, we know from Michael Sutton that the yellow paper and the Rust implementation of it for VProx should be coming out, or it's in the works right now. It's a work in progress, so it should be coming out hopefully soonish. But unfortunately, soonish is the only time I can give because I haven't got a timeline for you. But we're hearing more and more about it, and VProx again would give Kaspa that sovereignty, which would therefore attract people who want more security and want more higher profile applications and stuff like that come to Kaspa as a result, bringing more liquidity onto the platform, increasing Kaspa's adoption, and that would reverse and send the price a lot higher as well. Actual use case, incentivizing more use case as well. The tech in and of itself is at a very early point still. We've got smart contract with Casplex, but we've heard some Polinsky say he doesn't really care for layer 2s. The layer 2 aspect is exactly what went wrong with Ethereum. Layer 2, sequencing, Base, Unichain taking over. So Tom Polinsky, while he's not saying screw layer 2s, but he's like, I don't really care for them. I don't care to get into them either. VProx is what I care about. VProx is what really makes Kaspa the foundational layer for all of blockchain. It is an endgame scenario, and then Dagonite, of course, is another additive part to that. And there's a good possibility as well, based on what we heard in the past from Michael Sutton, that the release of Vrogs and Dagnite could be done in one singular hard fork, meaning both come out at the same time. If that happens, or when that happens, that would be an absolutely game-changing stage. And that would mean Kaspa has achieved history in regards to making the first protocol that is scaling with latency, making it internet chaos resistant and nothing else can do. If there was an internet blackout, everything would go down and fragment, but Kaspa's block DAG would not. Dagnite would not. And also means that everything can actually conduct and transact. Everything can be built and processed on the layer 1 as opposed to a layer 2 sequencer, because everything else has gone to a layer 2 sequencer, a centralized entity, because they cannot do it on the layer 1 because it ends up constraining the network. But Kaspa can handle it. That's two big elements that, as a builder, that's in itself is something you'd want to end up getting the first mover advantage towards. You get up build. I mean, that's why you've got the KRI here, for example, because they see that what Kaspa's building is really innovative. That for me is why I can listen to documentation like this from Signum Bank and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm thinking we're fine in Kaspa. Price sucks. Been like that for almost a year and a half now. It sucks. But they haven't stopped building. And what they're building is something that has never been done before in crypto. That's why you've got people like Nick Szabo, who's actively saying that block DAG is very, very promising. He's not endorsing Kaspa, but he's highlighting he's saying basically, Kaspa's on my radar. I'm looking at the project. It looks interesting. It's got good potential. And of course, then you can think about the fact that Ethereum, Polkadot, Matic, XRP, every other project pretty much, their protocol is a derivative of the protocols that Son Polinsky has already created. Ghost, Spectre, Protocol, Phantom, I meant. So, again, for me, price definitely sucks. I'm never going to say no to that right now, but the tech being built in itself is innovative, and you're seeing gradually more and more people starting to take notice of Kaspa. The fact of the matter being as well, when the market does top out, Bitcoin maximalists have started to actively look at Kaspa as well. They could very possibly start rotating some of their capital, some of their Bitcoin bags into Kaspa as being the second best option, if you will, hopefully soon to be the first. And there's so many enterprise use cases for Kaspa that it can achieve, as Kaspa Comma highlights here. Again, another reason why Kaspa is the end game for not just crypto, but for everything itself, in regards to pharmaceuticals as well and healthcare. There's a lot of issues right now with counterfeit happening, with there being interoperability between pharmaceuticals and logistics and healthcare. And Kaspa, of course, with its block DAG architecture, it could end up providing a unified decentralized ledger where every product, movement, and verification event is timestamped and verifiable in real time. So you haven't ever going to have to go through the back ends and spend so much time and money, energy trying to find that. You could have more transparency with Kaspa as well. It could end up, in regards to data interoperability, Kaspa could anchor standardized compliance proofs directly on chain, providing trusted interoperability between systems. Kaspa could support automated programmable settlements through future VProgs and Warp Core, the KRI. And in regards to vulnerability, while Kaspa could secure every batch ID, temperature log, and shipment checkpoint immutably, verified by the centralized nodes and Internet of Things oracles. Kaspa has the architecture, the design, the kind of the business plan to. It has everything kind of there. It just needs some more fine tuning and adoption. And the price it sucks. It is what it is. I'm not. If people everyone here pretty much has lost money on Kaspa for the most part, unless you bought really early, and you have, then you're definitely just chilling. People who have bought in near the top or down there, they're frustrated by all means of the project, and I get it. But when you realize that you got the smart money who run these markets are telling you price is a distraction, the service of distractions, basically saying look deeper, and you look deeper into Kaspa and realize that what they're building is innovative. You've got the connections that, while loose and seemingly almost irrelevant, you've got Marathon looking at Kaspa. You've had Binance looking at Kaspa. You've got Kaspa who's got an ETP with is it Valor? I think it might be Valor. Kaspa has connections to Securitize. You've got Kaspa, you've got market makers, you've got the KRI, which gives them massive partnerships as well. Kaspa has got its roots into key aspects of finance, is just very, very early and hasn't. When you look at other projects in the space, they have got first mover advantage. They're 100% complete projects, more or less. Kaspa is like 30%. I think on Polinsky said it's a 1 out of 3 complete. So, yeah, I mean, that's again, the recap of some of the recent news in regards to why it made price again. It sucks, but this again could potentially be an opportunity to DCA if you choose to. Of course, that's not financial advice though. If the tech is secure and continues to grow, so will the price 100%. The problem is that nothing is being brought onto a Kaspa of note. I mean, again, it's a very, very early project. I mean, I'm sure you'll see a lot more with the release of Vrogs. You very well could do. You are seeing some more stuff coming to Kaspa with regards to the Casplex, but it's right now still. I mean, Casplex has only been out for what? It came out, what, 3 weeks ago, give or take? Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. So it's been 3 weeks, and Casplex have been slowly building. If you look at Caspalytics, which I'm going to look at my other monitor right now, and you have a look at the transactions going through it right now, Casplex is still very, very early. It's doing on average about 50,000 transactions a day, which isn't too bad. You know, that's not bad at all. So, I mean, yeah, nothing's coming just yet. But you're looking at something that has barely come out. And again, in respect of Casplex, there has been a lot of uncertainty around them. So people have, for the most part, kind of just taken a big step back. You might see something different with Igra Labs. You will definitely see something different with Vrogs when they come out. Again, with the belief that it is going to, you know, the success of Vrogs could very easily transform Kaspa from being just a high-speed base layer technology into the decentralized settlement layer for all demanding applications in finance, gaming, energy, and beyond. Again, Elon Musk saying that Bitcoin, based on energy, is impossible to fake energy. Therefore, it is, you know, possible to fake Bitcoin. It is the best, better than fiat. The same can be said to Kaspa. Very easily can be said to Kaspa. Very, very easily. Look about Leo, bro. You're doing very, very well, my man. What is that document about price being a distraction? This is one of my alpha institutional documents that I've published exclusively to my VIP community in here. I did post this on my Twitter, which I will link in the chat right now. But I post some of the alpha research that I have been exclusively providing to my VIPs online sometimes. I've posted this, I think, about like maybe 10 online right now. But this is documents that I mean, one thing that I take pride in as myself is doing research. I feel like I learned quite a lot in the last cycle. The mistakes I made, I learned how to find documents. I understand that smart money run the market, so I found research. This is a document from Signum Bank. This came out, I think, in roughly June time or July time this year. And a document called An Introduction to the World of Crypto Assets and Blockchain Technology. And in it, I think it's like page 3 or whatever, it says crypto market drivers, core findings, and it says it right here, price volatility and regulatory implications dominate the public discourse, but these are early service level distractions in what is becoming the foundational layer for the next generation of financial market infrastructure and innovative technology. I have loads of documents like that. Signum Bank actually also published a document, which I'm going to also showcase, because I have actually showcased this on, I think I posted this one as well. I have posted one as well online, but I'll showcase this one as well here. This one's back from, I think it was a August monthly outlook document. Where is it? No, it is this one here. Yes, this is August, I believe, monthly outlook document. This one I have also published as well. Again, just highlighting Signum Bank, but there've been literally hundreds of documents in my VIP you could check out. From August 2025. And in this is one thing I spoke about a lot of times as well. It talks about the possibility of an extended cycle. While the pattern of past crypto market cycles suggests we may be nearing the cycle top, we believe that liquidity conditions, being the M2 money supply, progressing institutional adoption, which we're going to get to that stuff in a moment here, continued strong demand for treasury companies, and streamlined US regulations. So, you know, the Clarity Act, Genius Act, again, that's what could be talked about here as well. With all of those combined, not even to mention ETF filings as well, and they have believed that the current cycle has further to go. And if you go down even further and you see then here, it says when cycle top, As the crypto market has adhered to a consistent 4-year cycle so far during its short history, expectations are that we are approaching the end of the current bull cycle with bear predictions for 2026. However, as global liquidity remains plentiful and expanding, institutional adoption progresses while demand for treasury companies remains strong, and streamlined US regulations is likely to act as a catalyst for at least certain segments of the market, we believe the current cycle has further to go. Of course, it's not confirmation, it's institutional sentiment, but they run the markets. They know the inside of how this is what they're telling their clients. Again, this is stuff that we don't have access to. I mean, I've got access to it because I have my ways. And I showcase this to my VIPs, of one of many other documents as well. And this is them telling their enterprise clients, don't be so sure that we're going to top in November, December time. We may end up going into 2026. And that's been something I've been talking about with you lot here, bit by bit here and there. And I've been constantly emphasizing this to my VIPs as well. Right now, we're seeing a lot of risk off sentiment due to the market just uncertainty, which is completely valid. So some of us have decided to probably hold some stable coins for the time being. But we are no way right now under the implication that the cycle has come to an end just yet. Not just yet. We still have more belief that it can still recover and do very, very well when the time is perceived to be right, based on institutional sentiment and based on other TA elements as well. So again, if you want to find out more information like this, Signum Bank documents, we've got documents from JP Morgan, from Bank of America, from the World Economic Forum, from the IMF, from PwC, Deloitte, like all the leading institutions you can think of. You've probably got a document from them talking about AI or crypto or something along that lines in my VIP. If you want to find that stuff out, alpha documentation, getting you more clued into what's happening in the market, get ahead of the retail market, alongside trade alerts, weekly live streams every single Sunday, and so much more. Check it all out for 7-day free trial. Equally, check it out for a month of free signing up to BYDFI. People who've been a part of the community for quite some time now, like namely Joe King and Tony, they have been, again, singing my praises quite a lot in there. And we even have seen more recently that I did post on my channel as well, in my on my Twitter page. I posted about real world assets being likely to lead the next leg of the bull run, which I posted that. Where did I post that? Here. This is another one of my Alpha Insights. This is a post from KeyRock, a leading market maker, who stated DeFi and real world assets look set to lead the next leg of the bull run due to stablecoin velocity and tokenization momentum. So on the top of that, I actually published a Google Doc to that VIP group for my top real world asset picks, which of course are Bex in there. I put Ondu in there as well. And the other ones I'm not going to publicly disclose, but they are in there. And my members got a hold of some Ondu and some Beckham and the other assets during the dip, and they made profit on those already. So again, as you want to you level up your investing knowledge, your premium insights, understand this space is not a get-rich-quick scheme anymore. You're building for your financial future for the long term, then check out the VRP. Again, links are down below in the description and also on my homepage as well. What's being built of note on Kaspa? The foundational layer of what's being, like Kaspa as a foundational project, everything being built with Kaspa right now, the big defense will come on board as well. I think Cassia is good, but you can disagree. That's completely up to you. I think Cassia is good. You've got Vivor coming on now as well. You've got Casway being built, which I think is very, very important as well. You've got interesting stuff coming out to Kaspa. You've got to understand, again, it is extremely early. You know, would you have hounded the internet in the early days when nothing was being built on the internet? The internet was about for, I think it was, nearly 20 years until it took off. In fact, you guys are getting treated right now. I'm going to basically be giving you a lot of alpha information. I mentioned this as well. I have showcased this on stream as well, actually. So I don't mind showing it again because it's already technically out there to the public eye from me. This document here, this is another exclusive documentation here from Apollo Crypto, where they talk about here, how we value crypto assets. Many pundits often describe crypto assets as impossible to value due to a lack of intrinsic value. It reminds us of valuing the internet in its infancy. In 2000, a Forbes article suggested that the internet may be a passing fad as millions give up on it. Look where the internet's at today. The J in the Mag 7 has a larger market cap than the GDP of many developed countries. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. By way of example, smart contract platforms are best valued using metrics such as daily transactions, gas used and burned, inflation, and TVL, while DeFi applications, where revenue is passed back to the token holder, are better valued using more traditional DCF models combined with crypto native data and a deep understanding of the technical architecture. A deep understanding of the technical architecture. That's how you value crypto. That's how you value Kaspa. The stuff like smart contracts, that's VProgs, that's coming out in a bit. This is how you value Kaspa. You're going to give up on Kaspa like Forbes give up on the internet, looking at where it's at right now today? Just because we don't understand how to value. You don't value Kaspa on price right now. There's no price there. So how do you value Kaspa? You value on the technical architecture. On eventually there will be the smart contract with VProgs as well. The stuff, the daily transactions, that stuff coming through. That's why I do highlight the transactions here for Casplex. Holding strong at 50k is not bad. Something that has very little adoption right now. That's how you value Kaspa. Again, another insight from my VIP community. You want to find out stuff out again. Links to join are down below in the description. Get 7-day free trial as well. There'll also be a promo, I think, going live in my Discord community soon. So if you're not part of the free Discord server, check that out as well. You can get I think end up getting some form of promo or discount to the VIP soon. So also check that out as well. But yeah, this is stuff that we're talking about. And that's why, again, I don't get so fluttered on the price for Kaspa. That's the value for Kaspa. That's what will come through. And then the stuff of note that you probably care about, DC, will come in time. Yeah, that's another just short list of things coming to Kaspa as well. When devs can seamlessly use the Kaspa ecosystem and it's faster, cheaper, and more secure than every other ecosystem, who's not going to want to build on Kaspa? Pretty much. Yeah. Is there any other crypto that can come close to Kaspa performance, security, store value, and cost per transactions, which is basically free, 200 transactions for less than a penny? Not to my knowledge right now, especially the decentralized aspect part. I'm not so sure. I don't think there is anyone. Also, some discussions on quantum resistance for Kaspa in some capacity. That's quite early doors. I have to wait and see that come to fruition anytime soon. Right now, the focus is mainly on VProgs and Dagnite. Those are the main focus right now. To get some more news though, before we move on to some more questions and I guess debating, if you will. We've got this post here regarding Kaspa Commons. There's new listing of sorts for Kaspa with FinTech Pay. It's not an exchange from my knowledge, but you got a CAS Euro pair there. So from the look of it, new on FinTech Pay or Finec Pay or Finch Pay. Is it Finch Pay? Finch Pay. Okay, not FinTech. Sorry, Finch Pay. So you've got Kaspa. Next gen scalable crypto is now available on FinchPay.io. The ultra fast coin you love is now available for instant fiat purchases, quick, secure, and effortless. You can buy it on FinchPay right now. So more adoption. It's just highlighting adoption growing right now. It's not like a crazy thing. FinchPay aren't that big by any means, but still see more people adopting Kaspa in itself is quite good. This is something I think is quite important. Casway online payments here. You got a whole tutorial here on this, which I need to mute that because I can hear it through my headphones all the way back there. So you've got a little, online website on how to, buy Kaspa as well, like on Casway. Casway is meant to be very, very good for merchants as well, which is a very, very big thing. That is something definitely of note that's coming to Kaspa. It's, still a work in progress. Everything is Kaspa still a work in progress, but that's really, really cool. In regards to some updates from Igra Labs here, just a little bit of a back and forth here, but still interesting here. So Jack here, I buy Power, says getting the Igra Labs backend up and running is no joke. If you need help with running one on Ubuntu, let me know. I'm not even sure how to get the status of the node and make sure it's communicating with other nodes, and it's still very rough around the edges, working on the FAQ as we speak. So again, Igra in itself still very, very early days. You've got to understand this. Kaspa's a very, very early project, but it's still very much kicking. For me, the price is struggling, but the project is still developing more and more. That for me is very important. This is something else, not really of significant note, but I think also very, very cool, which I will be aiming to attend. Wolfie's Bar are holding some events, meetups in London soon enough. This one is just one with Ronan, but there's meant to be another one for Kaspa's 4-year anniversary, I think in the November time. So if you are in London, you might see me for the first time. Although saying that, I probably will have Facecam going live before then. I do plan to Facecam at some point, probably next week. If not, I just said before the end of the month, and I'm going to stick to that. So if not next week, it'll be sometime the week afterwards, before the Friday. So yeah, that would be something. Hopefully Facecam me will be the time Kappa starts pumping. That would be something, because since I've been doing live streams for Kaspa, it'd be doing nothing but going down. So I need something to make it go up again, don't I? And then another update, because of course it's not just a Kaspa stream, predominantly Kaspa stream today, but it's not just Kaspa here. Okta, something else that I still have my same stance on it. It needs more listings. Its adoption is very, very small, but we're seeing that in regard to price action for Okta is really, really low, but the adoption actually is growing more and more. So hopefully soon enough, the demand and adoption will outweigh the supply in regards to Okta, and then the price will catch back up as well. It is a very, very undervalued project. I think more listings are necessary for Okta to do much better, but it's one that I'm increasingly considering putting a very, very small bag, probably the smallest bag I've put in anything, even meme coins into Okta, just to see if it is worth a hedge, just because I think the project in itself is quite interesting. It's just its chance of success is a lot smaller due to such a lackluster number of listings. Like, there's always a chance that projects miss a cycle because they haven't got any listings. And Kaspa, for me, is not that. Despite its listings not being Binance and Coinbase, it has got listings. It has got listings from many other chains. Many other big chains as well. Kraken, Bybit, BitGet, Uphold. It's got other big chains and exchanges. So I think Kaspa will do very well this cycle regardless. But I still think Binance is still very much on the cards. Again, playing into the sentiment that if the cycle does extend, then that's even better. Again, that's not me saying that. That's institutional sentiment saying that. Of course, they could lie, and they also haven't got a crystal ball, but they have better indicators than I do. And also, they're not telling me this; they're telling their institutional clients this. So I'm lucky to get access to this, and get access to documents like this, and documents like this, stuff that they don't show us for free. I get access to this, and I show this to my VIPs. I'm showing it to you right now. But again, you want to get more insights about that sort of stuff and knowing how early we are, what's about to come through, what is important. Knowing that real world assets are the ones that are about to rally as well, hence why we've gone to some of these assets. Then check out my VIP group again. Links are down below in the description on my homepage as well. Now we're going to get into some of the other documents here. This is something I think very, very important, which is also in the title of the stream, about how we're going to end up seeing a reversal. Market liquidity, crypto liquidity is reaching a critical point right now. We'll get to this in a very, very short moment. Before we do, we'll get into this post, which is probably the reason why the markets are corrected today. Trump has issued a statement about his lengthy phone call with President Putin. Trump says he'll be meeting with Putin in Budapest to see if they can reach a deal to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. I'll be honest, probably not going to happen. I've heard this too many times now to really care. I don't think Trump has, with respect, I don't think Trump has the capacity to end the war of Ukraine between Russia, because if he could, it would have happened ages ago. Like, Putin does not want to end the war with Ukraine, evidently. So I don't think it's going to happen, although we could be optimistic about it and see if it happens or not. But that could be a reason for the market correcting right now, because again, it's just more war talk, more Trump in headlines again. We still know we've got the trade war still kind of brewing between China as well, hence why the markets are not feeling so hot right now. And then we've got this post here, which is also why the short-term while looks very bleak. The medium to long-term still looks quite bright. And again, could play into the possibility we end up seeing this sort of scenario play out. So demand for the Fed's reverse repo facility has fallen to $4.1 billion, the lowest since April 2021. RRP usage, one of the financial system keys excess liquidity metrics, have declined $2.5 trillion since its December 2022 peak. Meanwhile, bank reserves at the Fed dropped below $3 trillion, a level that many Fed officials consider the red line between abundant and scarce revenues, or reserves even. Such a low level can strain the financial system, making it harder for banks to lend money, and can cause spikes in market volatility or even banking failures. As a result, Fed Chair Jerome Powell just said that the end of QT may be approaching in the coming months as liquidity conditions tighten. The market liquidity appears to be at a critical point. So in short of this, because there is such little money for the Fed to, or for the Feds to bail out banks and to hand out, hence why the volatility in the market's dumping right now also playing into this, Jerome Powell's accepting that, okay, we can't keep QT up anymore. We've got to start reversing that to QE, to quantitative easing, to printing money. And sources based on, I think it was Reuters, suggested that there's a possibility that the so-called in the coming months will probably play out in January 2026. So if we start getting QE in 2026 with rate cuts coming through as well, that also plays into the possibility with the M2 money supply still being at all-time highs and rallying still. Did you get QE in 2026 with rate cuts, M2 being at all-time highs, plus the regulatory developments coming through and all the other factors, ETF fundings, the whole plethora of lists and stuff, you may see the cycle extend. Not guaranteed, not financial advice, but again, sentiment from institutions suggests this cycle could extend. The macro liquidity cycle could extend past 4 years into a 4.5, 5 year cycle, maybe. Got to do your own research, trade at discretion, and just keep your wits about you. I'm not concerned right now. I have little reason to be. Based on what I've read, based on what I've researched, if I didn't know this information, then yeah, sure, I'd be worried. But I know how to find information. That's the one thing I take pride in. That's one thing I won't be humble about. I know how to find information, so I know what to look out for. That's why when Kaspa's price is at 5.3 cents, I'm not worried. I'm happy. I could buy a cheap Kaspa bag again. In the strong belief that Kaspa is eventually going to go through this massive reversal in regards to following market trends and patterns, in regards to developments coming out, in regards to the cycle potentially extending as well. When Bitcoin rallies and the dominance falls off, Kaspa will probably gain a lot of those Bitcoin liquidity. Building a Kaspa is slow, but it's coming. It is still building. They had to put Kaspa in bear market, fair launch. If the tech was average, it would be Terra, Alpium, or Tectum or some crap. Still think Kaspa is fine while the price is not doing well. Kaspa won't exist long enough to need a quantum safe at this rate. Again, that is just purely sentiment. We have no confirmation of that. I just got a Coinbase ad on the stream. Yeah, I know that right now the two big exchanges, being Kraken and Coinbase, are actively putting more and more ads out there. I've seen a lot for Kraken recently as well. I had a Kraken ad when I was watching I think it was some Minecraft video earlier when I was eating my lunch. Welcome back, New Base. I hope you're doing very, very well. Whatever has been being worked on needs to hurry up. We're at a critical stage. I don't care what anyone says. It wouldn't hurt to see something, click and move right now. I wouldn't disagree. And we are definitely at a critical stage, but me for the optimist, I'm not worried right now. I'm not worried right now in regard to what's being built. And here's why as well. We talk about the critical point right now in regards to QT going to QE. We've got this post right here. BlackRock will unveil its Genius Act compliant money market fund on Thursday. Next Thursday. Designed to simplify reserve custody for stablecoin issuers. So the biggest asset manager, $13 trillion asset manager, is starting to launch a money market fund that is compliant with the Genius Act, one of the new regulatory stablecoin bills that came out in America. That's big. A big step towards crypto. And that's coming out next week. The OCC recently granted preliminary banking charter approval to Peter Thiel's backed crypto bank Erebor. Now, Peter Thiel is actually the co-founder of PayPal. So, of course, PayPal being a very well-renowned well-renowned payment issuer and company, it's understandable they got this. But again, it's still a crypto bank. A crypto bank being given a preliminary banking charter agreement approval is a very, very big deal. So another big step forward for crypto as well. We got Cathie Wood's ARK Invest has filed for 4 more Bitcoin ETFs. They still haven't got access to XRP, Solana, Cardano, HBAR, Litecoin, all the other altcoins that have been issued ETF funds haven't been approved just yet. And they won't be probably until the SEC, until the government shutdown ends, the SEC has therefore the manpower to approve the ETF filings. But that's also going to be coming out. So you're seeing more institutional adoption coming towards crypto. Right now, Bitcoin still being the sole focus, but that'll cycle into Ethereum and other altcoins, again, when the conditions are right. And this for me is arguably one of the biggest ones. This is a very long-term outlook, but it's still a key indicator of where we are currently at and where we are going with crypto. Tom Lee did a podcast interview with Bankless Bullish with Arthur Hayes, where he spoke about a possibility of institutions like JP Morgan and banks like JP Morgan getting 35 to 50x earnings as they basically streamline the whole business operation with blockchain technology. So listen very closely here to Tom Lee in this interview.
A PE market. If I took JP Morgan, for instance, and this is something we've written about at Fundstrat, that they are operating and supported by 313,000 employees, but a JP Morgan built on the blockchain might only need 20,000 employees and operate with far greater clarity and vision and efficiency. So JP Morgan may end up being, especially using AI, more of a tech company. They're replacing humans with tech spend and using the blockchain for finality and security. and the multiples of banks should change, going from trading at price to tangible book to actually having a PE multiple. And Kathy Wood has pointed this out. That's exactly what happened with Costco and Walmart, that they used to be traded like typical consumer staples, 15 to 16 times earnings. But because they essentially systematized their business, Walmart and Costco trade 35 to 50 times forward earnings. That's a higher PE multiple than NVIDIA, which trades at 30 times.
Of course, that's a hypothetical scenario or theoretical scenario, but it's still something that is entirely possible with the introduction of blockchain. And again, think about what it could be if you had Kaspa, with VPROG, Kaspa VPROG Dagnite, being a true self-sovereign, decentralized layer 1 where you could build on top of. It's another possibility. Again, that's purely skeptical. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But if Kaspa can achieve decentralized app sovereignty on a layer 1, which has never been done before in history, it has the real possibility of becoming the decentralized settlement layer of choice for all institutions and builders. Because it's something that has never been thought as possible and never been done before. It's another qualm I have. While the FUD of Kaspa is high and it's building, and I understand the price is terrible, and people are complaining the building is slow at a critical point, you've got to understand, again, they are not following any blueprints. If you want to make money quickly, then you should have probably come to the realization by now, at the very least, that Kaspa is not a quick moving project. It's not your Sui's and your other VC backed projects that have people who pump the price whenever they want to. It's purely people of developers and builders who are not just following a blueprint, they are reinventing their wheel. They are doing stuff that has never been done before. It might have been attempted before, but has been failed time and time again. They are doing it though. 10 BPS was historic. No one's done that before. And it works. You haven't got smart contracts fully online. We've got Kaspa, haven't got a layer 1 VPROGs out yet. That will likely see a lot more adoption coming through. Right now, there's no incentive or I mean, in regards to marketing for Kaspa, we are the marketing. But even if you had Kaspa in some capacity hire a marketing team, like, because Kaspa got the full ecosystem right now readily available to be built on at such a level right now, you might say yes. But while they diversify their manpower away from building and focus on marketing, when building is what's going to end up bringing in the adoption in the future anyways, it's up to us to increase the marketing of Kaspa. That's kind of what the point of a community project is. VPROG's never going to see them. Don't know why you'd say that. They're literally releasing yellow papers for it right now, so don't know how that makes sense, but you do you, DC. VPROG's a smart contract on layer 1, effectively, yes. Effectively, they're not smart contracts. They're not native smart contracts, but they are, in a very simplistic understanding of it, yes, they're smart contracts on the layer 1. Welcome back, Willie. I understand Kaspa is a threat to Binance and Coinbase, so when the VPROGs be used, so institutions will start it and then price go parabolic. I mean, that's a theory, Kaspa being a threat to all centralized entities in the space. With the release of VPROGs, if adoption comes flowing through, then, it would threaten those other chains. They'd have to come on board so they don't lose out and, fall behind. And that will make adoption and demand of Kaspa go parabolic, therefore rallying the price. So it's a theory, but we haven't seen it play out yet, so we can't guarantee it, or at least not immediately. It'll probably take some time either way. Trump will announce Xi and him are mates tomorrow, a credible fly. I mean, he might, but at the same time, you might very well hear Xi say, nah, he's capping. And then it's like, oh, and then it just goes down lower again. Understanding the idea of me saying don't be emotional, be logical, is also understanding that people are emotional and playing on that emotion. I understand that headlines about tariffs are going to cause volatility, but they shouldn't. To have a quick reminder, this is Liberation Day. We saw the volatility happen down here, and then we saw Bitcoin rally 70% in value off the back of the tariffs. So evidently tariffs are not as disastrous as people have made them out to be. But people be emotional. They hear tariff FUD and they're like, oh no, end of the world. I mean, it's not ideal by any means, but it's not end of the world. Stablecoins and Kaspa will also get Kaspa involved as well. Yeah, exchanges stablecoins would be a very, very big thing. We have heard from Johnny that Circle are interested and will hopefully come online soon enough, but we haven't heard anything of such yet. So we don't know. And same thing with Tether as well, so we don't know. Hopefully we'll hear something soon enough, but we have no idea just now. Tier 1 exchange first, please. No news. There is no Tier 1 exchange news right now. I don't know what more to tell you. Like that will come when it comes. But that again, that's all I can say to it. That will come when they come. Binance and Coinbase basically admitted Kaspa as a threat. That's why they're on listing. I wouldn't be surprised if they did admit that, although I can't remember exactly if or when that was stated. But I mean, it is a threat. Kaspa's a threat to everything. If the internet gets nuked, I think we got bigger fish to fry than this. Yeah, we would. But in the hypothetical scenario the internet does get nuked and there's a massive cyber attack, when Kaspa has Dagnite out, it would be the only infrastructure that was still, it wouldn't be fragmented. Blockchain, every other blockchain system, if there's an internet outage and crash, you would see all the nodes, fork off in their own way, and they choose the rule of the longest chain or longest node to then go back to that one. Meaning that the theory that we heard about was in the scenario that someone decides to pay 100 XRP or 1 Bitcoin or whatever it may be to buy a car, and they paid online. If that was going on during an internet outage, they paid the money, got the Lambo, got the car, and they went about their way. And then they found out like a few hours later that it was during an internet outage, and the internet then came back online, but the transaction that went through was not on the longest chain rule. That means that in theory, that payment never went through, so you just got a free car. Now, of course, that sounds great in hindsight, but it ruins a business. With Dagnite, that would never be an issue because the fragmentation would end up colliding back together again. So that's again a big boon factor for Dagnite, making it the ideal infrastructure layer for the entire blockchain world. As a bank, if an internet outage happens as a bank, would you want to have a situation where you end up losing billions of dollars for an internet outage, or the scenario of Kaspa, it actually would keep it secure? Again, looking at tech and the innovative technology, that's what they care about. I'm not saying they're looking at Kaspa. In fact, they probably aren't looking at Kaspa right now. But it's not going to be that way forever. It's possible they could have looked at Kaspa in the future, because Kaspa is building innovative technology that could very easily be the financial market infrastructure for the entire blockchain world going forward, with Vrogs and Dagnite and other elements coming through. That's my belief. You haven't got to believe me. I'm not telling you to invest into Kaspa. I'm telling you what I believe. If you don't believe me, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. But I understand the importance of following tech. Good tech does well. I don't recall a scenario where a great innovative technology failed. Something that actually changed the world for the better. I can't recall one. 99 times out of 100, or every single time, if an innovative technology changes the world, it's adopted. Look at electricity. Look at the internet. Look at a match, a lighter, as opposed to just flint and steel. That's a new innovation to how something is done. And that got massively adopted and monetized in most aspects as well. Kaspa is just the next line of evolution, but this one for crypto, for money. I don't do price predictions. Where I just saw that message. Where was it? Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Tide. I don't do price predictions. For reasons that I have explained in detail multiple times. I think Kaspa will do well. It's as much as I'll say about it. I think surpassing all-time highs is a very easily achievable goal. It's as much as I'll say about it. Rip to people who bought Kaspa at all-time highs. Yeah, pretty much. And that's where a lot of the negative sentiment comes from. Those who either bought at these higher levels or just, again, they're under the and again, it could possibly happen, so I'm not saying for definite, but people are under the massive conception that we have got 2 months left of the cycle and then we're ended, and then we haven't missed a bull cycle. Again, this is what institutions are telling their clients. It may go on longer. We're seeing the macro cycle extend. We're seeing QT turn to QE probably by January 2026, which would see more liquidity pumping into the market then. Either that's going to stem the bleeding bear market, meaning that you won't get a significant dip in the bear market, or it'll result in an extended bull run. But you're seeing QE at the so-called end of the cycle. When you're seeing liquidity start to pump into the markets, meaning that risk off looks more appealing then, that's not going to continue a bear cycle or start the bear cycle. If anything, it's going to stop it. It's going to start into a bull cycle or extend a bull cycle more than likely. So if they, in the idea that this cycle could extend, and again I have to highlight it could, there's no guarantee of that, of course not financial advice, please do your own research and make your own decisions, but in the situation that this market could extend, then Kaspa is fine. Because right now nothing has rallied. Nothing has made any significant moves for a very long time, and if it has, it's lost all the gains it's made anyways. If you take a step outside of Kaspa's bubble, Kaspa down 70, almost 75% from its all-time highs right now. You've got assets that are equally doing as bad, who have been around for a lot longer. Hedera H-bar, you know, it is down significantly from its all-time high. If I just go on Hedera H-bar, for example, and this is just, I don't like doing this because it's comparing Kaspa to other projects, it's comparing apples to oranges, but it's the same example that people give time and time again. You know, people comparing this project's done better than Kaspa. Okay, well, I could equally pick another project that has done equally as bad since its all-time highs. You know, here is down like 60% from all-time highs. Kaspa's down 75. You've got other projects that equally done very, very badly as well. Kaspa's the only project in this space that, or one of the few that has managed to make such significant gains since its inception. Of course, that's based on the theory, therefore you got in the really, really early point, but it's still, you know, one of a few that's done that. Again, price is a distraction. That's as plain as simple as I could put it. It's based on institutional sentiment, not my own. So if you have a problem with me saying that, have a go at the institutional smart money who's saying that to their clients. Because I'm just recycling and regurgitating exactly what the smart money are saying to their clients. If you've got a problem with that statement, complain to them. That doesn't bother me at all. Me too, Russell. Me and you too. I wish I had more money to buy this dip, man. I feel like I'm always forever never having enough dry powder for it. When retail isn't fit into the buying, precisely right. Binance have been screwing us for a long, long time. They're probably also the main reason why Kaspa's come down here, because they launched futures at the top, and we've seen the price go down since then. So they probably manipulate the price of Kaspa for a long, long time. They also might be wallet too. That or Wintermute. There's speculation about it could be either or. It makes sense for them to be either or. They currently have 949, almost 950 million Kaspa. It's nuts. Welcome back, Mr. Mars, bro. It's been a minute. Hope you're doing very, very well, my man. You just missed the general sentiment about Kaspa's price being terrible. It's going to go to zero. The usual, you know. 125 major high, major pullback for months, then 150k top. That's how big money likes it. Very possible. I wouldn't be against that scenario happening. Friday's real today, yeah. I mean, I'm hearing it more and more and more now. I've had at least 3 different people flood Kaspa today. It's fine by me, you know. I'll say my piece about it. I'm not here to convince nobody. I'm here to just say my piece about it. If you don't believe in Kaspa, that's perfectly fine. Then you can do as you will and go about your way. It doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like, again, I'm not here to hold your hand. Everyone here are big boys or big girls. You can all make your own decisions. You should make your own decisions. I'm not here to hold your hand. I'm here to talk about a project that I believe in. If you don't believe in it, it's fine. It's fine. Perfectly fine. I'm here to talk about what's coming out, how things don't look as big as it actually seems, how you're seeing the adoption for Kaspa and the development for Kaspa growing more and more. It's very interesting, very innovative. You're seeing what's happening in the space as well, big developments coming through, and then also leaking out for documentation to show you what's really going on behind the scenes, also to give you maybe an incentive to join the VIP, to get more in-depth insights. And then you can decide for yourself whether you want to learn more here or just to listen to the information that's been provided to make your own decisions, or you just want to not like it and not listen to it. It's perfectly fine. It doesn't bother me either way. To be fair, there weren't 500,000 internets to choose from, so it's not a comparable situation. Yeah. But at the same time, they're not a comparable situation, but at the same time, like, it is one of its own kind. The internet was a massive threat to the all transformation of information. Well, actually, no, that's not exactly true. There weren't 500,000 internets to choose from, but there are multiple different means of transferring information to people. You had, post offices. You had, back before that, was carrier pigeons. The premise of, again, while I understand your sentiment, you've got multiple different cryptos to choose from for how you into how whatever you want to run your financial chains on. True, but the internet was just another derivative of the way to transfer information from one place to another. But you did it a lot quicker. That's all it was. Beforehand, it was just on foot or car, and you just send it by telegram, whatever it would have been, newspaper. That's how you did it beforehand. The newspaper companies hated the internet because you end up getting all the information you wanted at hand at the snap of the fingers. So it was one derivative of a long line of other ways to transfer information. Kaspa is very same in that regard, therefore. It is another innovative technology which does things a lot quicker than anything else in a decentralized and sovereign matter, while being extremely cheap, stuff that people want to take advantage of. So, what's up, White Bro? You're doing very, very well. Good evening to you too, Jay Honey. It's been a minute, brother. You're doing very, very well. What's the ETL on VProgs? We haven't got one yet. We have no ETL on VProgs right now. They got a yellow paper out last month. And you saw Mark Sutton mention that they've got a yellow paper with Rust implementation and stuff coming out. It's work in progress. But there's no ETL on VProgs yet. That's also what I spoke about, and some Polinsky was prompting his terror bot, what her to basically give out, was to basically give some timeline clarity. We haven't got an ETL on it. So we don't know. The rough ETA we heard a while back was when someone said Dagonite and VProgs coming out 2027, and Microsoft said over my dead body, it'll probably end up being mid 2026. That's the rough timeline we got. But again, this is reinventing the wheel. It could take longer. We don't know. Maybe next week. Worst case, it'll be the week following that, before the Friday, because that's the end of the month. I need to make sure I get a haircut and everything. Although saying that, I'm going to most likely be wearing a hat, because I do religiously wear a hat in my real life. Just do. Don't like my hairline, put it that way. Yeah, just leave it at that. So I wear a hat. I'll probably wear a hat on the stream as well. But yeah, you see a face reveal very, very soon. I might dress up really jokingly in like a Roman outfit for Mr. Mars to act like the fullest Roman Brit, and then I'll go back to wearing what I generally wear, which is just t-shirt and jeans or something like that. Although you won't be seeing the jeans, I'm sitting down realistically. Have you been looking into the Combat Media project and Crumbs token tipping system? I think something big is coming with that project. I know they're doing something with Wolfie's Bar. I have not looked into it, no. I'll have to give that a bit more deeper insight so I can find information about it. I do have some people I could talk to in that regard, so I'll see if I can find out more about it, definitely. So I missed the most of this, but I have to jump and catch up. Be sitting on my mining rig up to take my new KS5M. And I mean, that's all good, brother. I mean, thank you for tuning in once again. And yeah, I hope you enjoy all the content we've got covered so far. I've looked, but I don't think anything to ban. Yeah, no, it's not. I wouldn't say DC is doing anything that's worth banning. It's not Mahir, which is the person that Tony banned the other day. DC is just, again, venting frustration about the price of capital being terrible, and therefore it's going to go to zero, which is one opinion versus the rest. We just don't know yet. We just don't know. Of course they're lying. I'm guessing you're referring to smart money lying. I mean, you've got to understand, again, they're telling their enterprise clients this. They're not telling us, the retail, this. They're telling their enterprise. If you're a client, you get access to this document here. So, are they lying to their clients? You tell me. Are they going to lie to their clients and ruin their credibility? Or are they going to try and be truthful in what they think? I think I know what I say in that matter. Smart money do lie to us. I don't disagree with that. They don't want us to be rich, but this is what they're telling their clients. So, I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen, but I'm keeping my options open. I'm looking to play reactionary to the possibility it does happen. Looks like Trump brought peace to the Middle East. Consider it possible for dehaze. I mean, yeah. Again, I'm not saying it's impossible for this to happen, but I'm not counting my chickens before they hatch. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much as well. Mr. Mars being the VOD was just adding more fire to the flame. Just hold the line, so simple. Pretty much, Dimitar. Pretty much indeed. Saying nothing of note is being built, which can be conjecture, but tied to putting down on a project with unfounded claims. So lying. When we have new people coming here on the time, I mean, I would be in all honesty, I doubt new people are coming to Casper right now. Price would be down for most of retail only come when a project performing really, really well in price. So I doubt anyone's going to come to Casper anytime. Well, have not come to Casper for quite some time or anytime soon. You might have saw people come to Casper here as one of the best performing assets after the Liberation Day. But otherwise, then you won't be seeing people come to Casper for quite some time. But I understand the sentiment. Yes, spreading misinformation and FUD is not ideal. I don't mind it happening because it also gives me something to talk about and rebuttal to. But as long as things are kept relatively respectful in that regard, I'm not going to want to take excessive means to it. If when people are actively coming here with nothing to offer at all, and they're not asking questions, they're just basically just saying it's a terrible project and just screwing on it and laughing at everybody, that's when it gets disrespectful, and that's when I'm like, okay, you don't need to be here. We get a fuss at every day. Yeah, pretty much. As someone who got into Casper early and still holds millions of Casper, you have the same opportunity again to load up a well-sized bag of Nexa for almost nothing. Thank me later. Maybe Nexa will do well. I'm not in Nexa. I'm not too well versed in Nexa either. Currently got a 4.2 mil market cap. A very, very small asset. It launched back in 2023. And it's definitely at a very, very low value right now. It's down 92% from its launch. Will it do that well? I don't know. I have no idea what Nexa really is. Another proof of work, UTXO layer 1 blockchain. Oh, I've heard about Nexa actually. Tell a lie, I have heard about Nexa. I think somebody was fudding Casper on my Twitter talking about, was it Nexa? No, it was not Nexa. It was something else. It was. Well, I spoke about it. I was speaking about it to one of my mods the other day because I was tired about replying to it. Nano. It was Nano, not Nexa. It was Nano. I have no idea what Nexa is. I mean, at your own risk, trade into it. This is Nano, the project the other person was talking about. Which, yeah, he was actively trying to engage with me about Casper being terrible, Nano being the next big thing, and I'm like, okay, well, never heard of Nano, not really that well versed with it. It's up 7,000 from its launch, had a massive spike in its first cycle, 2018. This for me is a little bit worrying, if I'm honest, because typically a project should do better in its second cycle. This project exploded in its first cycle. Second cycle, it didn't go nearly as high. If I look at market cap, yeah, same thing. So I'm like, okay, so that for me is a bit worrying as a project. You should ideally be making bigger gains every cycle. This project barely made a quarter of it. That's just Nano. I mean, that's something else I heard about. It's okay to question stuff. In that consensus, he's not really done anything wrong. Yeah, that's what I mean. What I mean. Well, I'm not. But again, this is DC. You're now coming at people who are asking for it, but I'm not saying you should do it. And Mr. Masters knows not to do it either. I'm like, again, this is the person who actually has the power in this to decide to ban you or not is not doing so. Like, so, you know, I understand what you're saying, but you're not being banned because all you're doing is asking questions, so it's fine. Like, I understand you're frustrated with the price action of the project and you want it to do well properly. It just looks like it's very bleak right now, but I would just, I mean, yeah, just is looking ropey. I won't disagree with that. I never disagreed with that. I'm just saying that there's much more to meet the eye than just price, based on what other people are saying. I've been saying it myself for a while, but now I have institutions saying the exact same thing I've been saying to their clients. So I'm like, okay, well, just read what they're telling them, which we can then have a sneak peek into what they're telling them. And then that will hopefully give us more conviction that Casper is still fine because it's still building. But again, that's up to you. Yeah, he's always been the bullish individual. I mean, again, I don't know so much about the 50x opportunity here, but he's not wrong in the sense that these businesses, these banks can definitely massively increase their earnings overnight with blockchain. I don't disagree with that. I'm not sure about 50x, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a Wall Street expert claimed to be. Kappa needs to bring a Beardo back. Price has only gone down since he got the boot. Oh, what, Shy? I mean, yeah. I don't see Shy coming back fixing anything. I think he was a great voice in Kaspa in regards to his technical expertise. A lot of people did not like him because he spoke his mind, which, funny enough, those who did not like Shy were people who also spoke their minds and didn't like that Shy spoke them back. I personally don't speak my mind. I have a filter in my brain that lets me speak in a manner that won't be perceived as rude or insulting most of the time. At least I try to. I know I make mistakes at the time. I'm only human. But I don't think Shy. I mean, I would not be against Shy coming back. But that is completely up to what those who Kaspa want. I don't think I think Shy right now is still too close. I think he needs a bit more time away, maybe. But what do I know, right? It's not. Again, it's a community project. It's what the community wants. I'm going to career fair for trading firm. Can you wish me luck? Good luck, brother. Since Kaspa is not mooning, I have to look for a job. I'm really nervous. I'm nervous, especially when Kaspa's falling. Good luck, Wing Hong. Everything will pan out, man. I know it's stressful, but don't get me wrong. I'm in a similar boat. I've been working three jobs for a long time. Then I worked 2 jobs, like in the beginning of this year when the market was doing a lot better. I was hopeful I could just go to 2 jobs, and I had to get back another job again. I might have to get another job in the new year, depending. So this economy is rough, especially with how things are looking right now. It's getting rougher and rougher. But I'm hopeful, again, things will turn around soon enough. Hopefully. Also very true, but that's also why I don't pay too much mind to them. I'll just rebuttal the claim and I'll move on. If it's continuous FUD, then I just ignore it. You know, there's only so much you can respond to if it's just like talking to a brick wall. Like it's a saying again, you could take a camel to the water, you can't make the drink. I can give you all the information I have on hand, and therefore my belief into why it's going to do well. It's your choice if you want to believe it or not, or do extra research. That's all I can do. Maybe the next cycle, who knows? I don't know if it's going to go down to 1 cent. We saw a flash crash to that, but again, that was an anomaly. I think I'll be very, very surprised if Kaspa come back down to that again. But again, what do I know? I'm not a financial advisor. I got a chance to get more Kaspa at even these prices. Oh my god, this is the worst. Pretty much, yeah. TAO under $400 is a steal. I agree. I'm buying back at $200. I mean, that also would be a very nice price to get into if it does reach there again. But $200 is a long way away, not seen since the dip on Liberation Day. I would be surprised to see it go back down there, unless we do get a kind of a bear market confirmation signal here, Bitcoin just going down from here, but I still don't believe that's confirmed just yet. You just gotta wait and play it by ear. It's tough to say. I do know some people who are starting to hold. If you're very flustered in the market right now, not financial advice, but if you are, just take out and hold stables. The market will come back. Crypto is literally taking over. Proof of that here. But if you think the cycle's coming to an end and you're not so sure, you don't believe that documentation that I'm showcasing here, which is perfectly fine, hold stables. Just hold. Just take out hold stables and then get back in when you think time's right. That's all it is. You do realize that the internet's effectively centralized, right? So your point? If the internet gets nuked, it'll be a global reset. Crypto's not only affected. Yeah, true. Very true. The thing is, yeah, all crypto will be affected as well. Everything will be affected. It's just that with the diagonal architecture, it means that Kaspa would get affected, but when the internet comes back online, because of how Kaspa block architecture works and how it scales for latency with the diagonite, it would end up like, imagine it's like a spider web, of course, how the block DAGs, you know, put new parallel processing of blocks, it would end up colluding back together because it doesn't function on the longest chain rule like every other project in the space does. So it'd end up coming back together basically. 50 billion will be easy to do during an alt season. I mean, yeah, quite comfortably. You know, 50 billion Kaspa is still a possibility, but again, we have to wait and see. Good investors are not the only ones that should be worried if the internet gets nuked. 100%. 100%. Maybe Nate Hart, who knows? Maybe. Welcome back, Crypto Knee, or Mr. Miles' alter ego. See, people react to the capital price and the type of FUD throwing around is eerily uncanny to early Bitcoin. Yeah, you see it every time. But this is a true test of conviction right now. Can you hold your nerves? Do you believe what you hold, or do you just Not simple as that. Also very true. Again, there's no confirmation of that, Alexander. I've also showcased this document here. No, not Alexa. I've showcased this document here from Signum Bank numerous times this stream already about price not being important. I also showcased this document in videos stream before from Signum Bank again. And we've had other institutional sentiment suggest this cycle may go longer than 3 months. So there's no guarantee. Again, it's just my opinion based on institutional sentiment. But there's no guarantee the cycle has got only 3 months left. It might have longer. We don't know. We just don't know. Every cycle beforehand has been pretty much guaranteed it'll be a 4-year cycle. But as Signum Banks highlighted only 2 months ago, the 4-year cycle, which everyone's expecting to happen, it may come to an end. And with respect, I will probably put more faith into what a classified internal institutional document from Signum Banks telling their clients than I would from a KOL. You know, what I'm telling you is regurgitation of what a classified document is telling them. I might even get trouble for showing this. I don't know. This is stuff that I show to my VIPs a lot more detail about. That's why we're not flustered about the price, because we have a much deeper insight and an idea of what the smart money are looking towards and what they're investing into. And I can end up looking into that and make my gains as well. Again, be it to back on doing the other ones. So you want to find out more insights like that, again, check out the VIP 7-day free trial or a free trial for a month, signing up to BYDFI. All is down below in the description and also on my homepage as well. Warp.com/coinfactory. I'm looking at any more questions real quickly. We don't know when. Yeah, also we have QE starting in about 3 months as well. So that could also end up being, you might end up seeing in a scenario where the market starts going through a correction cycle now, people start saying bear market in, then QE starts in January, and then the cycle ends up going through what we saw back last cycle. You might end up seeing something similar to this, but happening from now to January. That could be possible. But who knows? This happened, we saw a correction to July, yeah, August, September, October, November. 4 months of pumping. You might see something similar to that. The problem is we're a fundamental new cycle, fundamental new time. No one has a textbook of how it's going to plan out. We will go off historical data, but when historical data doesn't align with what's happening, then what do we go off? That's why I look towards the market makers, those who run the market. I'm looking at what they're telling their clients, because they're the ones who run the market and make the money. What they're telling their clients is what matters. Pretty much, yeah, that's what I was saying there as well. I mean, could be possible, Alexander, but again, there's no confirmation. We just don't know. If you're going based on the sentiment of the last cycle, yes, but again, this is a new cycle, so this could be very, very different. There is one thing we have to get our heads into, and that's probably the best way to be invested. There is no if, buts, or absolutes. There's nothing of that in this space. There's no absolute the cycle's going to last until December. There's no absolute cycle's going to go up. We just don't know. The best thing that we are as humans are adaptable. The reason why humans are the best species on the earth is because we have the best feature being our adaptable nature. We got to adapt to the scenarios. So that's why when I'm investing, I keep a very, very open mind. I research, I try and make my predictions, of course, based on the sentiment. But I am not by any means thinking, oh yeah, Kaspa's definitely going to hit $10 a cycle. I'm not under the impression that Bitcoin's definitely going to hit $200 a cycle, or $200,000 a cycle either. I'm simply going based on the indicators and the other market makers and other sources which give me a bigger idea of where the cycle's going to go. And then I'll adapt, take profits, DCA, whatever, for the right time to do so. But there's no if, buts, or absolutes. So we can't keep thinking that mentality, because if we do, you're too rigid, it's going to end up screwing you over. And actually there's a point back to DC's internet post about there's only one internet. Well, there are multiple protocols. Right now, crypto is not crypto. You've got XRP Ledger, you've got ERC20, you've got Kaspa's up and coming as well. You've got, these are protocols. The same way you had all those, you have protocols, competing protocols. There'll be multiple protocols out there in the future as well. It's also a strong belief as well. You never know. Hey Jay, do you have live stream view statistics for your channel? Just curious how people come and go based on the market sentiment. There are statistics. They determine based on obviously the market position, the title, and thumbnail of the stream. If I have the title like this time around where I put Kaspa Endgame and stuff like that, I've had more views this stream than I had the past few. So the title's important, of course. When the conditions of the markets are really, really bad or really, really good, I get a lot more traction as well. If it's in a limbo, it's been doing nothing for a while, then yeah, not many people care to join. So I do get the stats. Yeah, that's something you get with YouTube. I can see right now that I've had a total of 400 views in this stream, and the current viewership is about 50. So I've had a lot of people come and go so far. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, fair enough. Thoughts on Cubic? I've not looked into the project too much. I'm not too deeply involved, so I don't think it's fair for me to give an opinion on Cubic based on my limited knowledge on it. Just look at the market chart for it real quickly. 184 mil market cap, give or take, which is very, very small. 300 or 3.6 mil market cap, volume, down 40% from its launch, which happened back in 2024 from the looks of things. Some big exchanges, BitGet being the bigger one, probably out of the lot. You've got Gate, you've got BingX, you've got MEXC, so it's got some exchange listings. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too well versed in Cubic. I know there has been a big back and forth between Kaspa and Cubic communities. I know Cubic claimed to have the fastest transactions ever, or whatever, like 15 mil, whatever. I don't even know what it was. Or something along those lines. I'm not too well versed in Cubic, so I can't give an opinion on it. Based on the market chart and what limited I know of it, it's a project that probably could gain some traction this cycle. Like it's something that probably could make some gains, but it's tough to say right now. It's tough to say. It has pretty much. I mean, if you look at the market cap just staying. I don't know what this is here. No market cap until here. So I don't know what this is about. I'd have to do more research into Cubic to give a proper opinion on it, honestly. But anyways, with that being said, our family does actually conclude today's Kaspa Crypto live stream. Yes, if you enjoyed the stream, as always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. Again, if you want more in-depth insights, documentation like this, showing what market makers are looking at the cycle right now. If you're looking at documentation like this, with smart money saying to their clients, don't look at the price only, they're distractions, telling you that cycle may extend beyond 2026, and much, much more about, again, how to value crypto. This is hundreds of documents I have in my VIP community. You want to find that sort of stuff out, get ahead of the game, look in more crypto, level up your understanding, check out the VIP, links down below in the description. Equally, just join the free community as well, the free Discord server, just to have a place to chill, chat, and learn more anyways. I do occasionally post some stuff in there as well, so you still get some information in there. All links down below in the description again. And check out BYDFI, no KYC exchange. They're currently holding a 30% deposit cashback campaign after the Visa crash, which ends tomorrow, so you've got to be quick to get a hold of that. Again, links in my Discord server. So that being said, family, if you want to find that stuff out, go check that out. Have a great day, good night, and I will see you all in the next one. Yeah, Jasmine ICP, they have done terribly. I'm very aware the charts are down 99%, so I stay clear of those two, honestly. That being said, have a great day, good night, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care now.